So that was my first game covering the Champions Cup. Leinster 52 points to Wasps 3. Yowza. I mean, I'm feeling welcomed into the world of the European Champions Cup because that was a lot of tries, albeit all for the one team. I don't know how to feel about this. I mean, I actually quite like Wasps because ever since Charles Piutau played for them a few years ago and they brought on guys like Sopoaga, they got Willie LaRue, Brad Shields, a bunch of my Southern Hemisphere kind of old favourite players. They just got dealt to 52 points to 3. When I saw the bookies odds for this one being, Leinster more than 2 tries, I thought, hopefully it'll be a bit closer than that. 52-3. Tries to Cronin, 2 to Luke McGrath, 2 to James Lowe, Lama, Henshaw, and 1 to Jack McGrath. Man, I mean, Sean Cronin's try at the start of the game was something else. He was more than 20 metres out when he got that ball. That guy can move. That was impressive. And someone tweeted at me that his line-out throwing is not the best. To be fair, this is probably the only mark on a pretty flawless Leinster performance is the line-out throwing was only at 73%. I know it was a bit breezy. But man, that guy could move, scored a try from more than 20 metres out, 7-0. Wasps get a penalty to Sopoaga. And then, I mean, it's pretty tight from then on out until Sopoaga gets a yellow card. And I thought his tactical kicking was actually not too bad. They didn't have any ball. Wasps, it was pretty hard. He got yellow carded, and either side of half time during that period, Leinster scored a try. So the yellow card period was 14-0. And second half is just, 42 minutes, 53 minutes, 60, 72, 74, 79. It's try after try after try. Good crowd, I must say. For the opening game, it's kind of what you want to see. It's a showpiece for Northern Hemisphere rugby, and it didn't disappoint in that regard. So good on all the people for getting out there. And I had heard both on the pre-match thing and in some comments that the weather had not been the best prior to the game. So for people to still go ahead and get tickets for that is encouraging. Weather was pretty clear for the game. Tit for tat early on, like I say, there wasn't that kind of much scoring in the first half. Leinster just all the ball. Wasps D was holding really well. At one point, they were tackling at 90% plus, which is, I mean, in the professional game, that's a pretty admirable stat to be tackling that high. I was pleased to see Sexton taking the ball to the line a fair bit because, he was actually getting a fair bit of pay in that area. Wasps scrum was under pressure. It did get a bit better as the game went on, but it was still never 100% reliable. As I said, I was liking Sopoaga's tactical kicking because that's what he used to do at the Highlanders and another team that plays without the ball. But this was kind of not by choice. In this game, I feel like the Highlanders like to play without the ball in Super Rugby, but Wasps just didn't have any ball. Yellow card costly. Leinster so clinical. I mean, after they were still kind of dead and buried, Wasps did get a bit of ball towards the end. They built some phases in the 67th minute. It still came to nothing. They got a penalty and they missed touch. Offside at the kickoff. It was just not Wasps' night at all. And like I said, I have a wee bit of a soft spot for them. But 52-3 is just an absolute hiding. Even the ref went off in this game after 77 minutes. He got... he stopped moving and started going backwards, and the guy behind him, I'm not sure who it was, didn't have enough time to stop that big bulky frame, and the ref just hit the ground. So that was interesting to see. Hopefully he's all right, but don't see that very often. So it's a game that pretty much had everything. 8 tries to none, 1 penalty. Apparently it's Wasps' worst ever defeat in Europe, which with a scoreline like that, it's kind of not all that surprising. They'll need to pick themselves up from here, kind of woe betide anyone who has to play Leinster at this point, because that is a pretty strong looking outfit. I mean, so many guys had good games. James Lowe, kind of one of my favourite players when he was back here playing for the Chiefs. He was immense. James Ryan, the guy's got great hands. Line-out work was immense. He even had kind of a little line break that set up a try. Tackle bust. So many guys for Leinster. I could be here all day if I was talking about all of them. But, wow. Final stats. I mean, possession and territory was 70% plus to Leinster. Leinster made 64 tackles. Wasps had to make 167. Wasps even tackled, according to ESPN, which is where I get most of the stats because they got them live. 85% Wasps tackled, and they still let in 52 points. Kind of shows you how clinical Leinster were. Leinster themselves, 93 tackle percent for that 64 that they made. They only missed, I think, 5 or 6. I think they only conceded 5 tackle busts and 1 line break the whole game. Crazy stuff, man. I'll see how the next games go. Hopefully, I wouldn't mind seeing a game which is a little bit closer. I mean, it was certainly impressive, but it was never really in any doubt. But, I mean, wow. I feel welcomed. I feel sorry for the Wasps, guys. Not an easy one to take. Hopefully, they kind of bounce back after this. And Leinster look to just be a machine that is going to keep on keeping on because... 52 points to 3 over a not shabby Wasps side is a pretty immense performance. You guys let me know your thoughts on the game. Who you thought played well. Obviously, the men in blue, which was a pretty slick kit as well. Going to be dominating those. But you guys let me know your thoughts on the game. And I'll talk to you again soon. See you later.